Good afternoon, everyone.
Afternoon.
Thank you guys so much for being here with us. My name is Watis Gathings. I get to be the Director of Operations. What's up, gang? I get the privilege of being the Director of Operations and Community Outreach here at our wonderful center in Chatham, and I'm so proud and excited that you guys chose to join us today for such an amazing event. The day is finally here. I can remember a year ago we stood in this very same spot. It did not feel or look like this, but so happy for the progress we've made over the last year. What a privilege it is to be able to cut a ribbon on a beautiful facility that will serve as a beacon of opportunity for individuals and organizations here on the South Side. I'm extremely proud and excited to be here to mark this special occasion. On behalf of Discover and my colleagues, I want to express our gratitude for each of your support over the last year. I'd also like to recognize elected officials who have joined us here today and have supported our team in many ways as we've advanced this critical work. First and foremost, I'd like to acknowledge our mayor, Mayor Lori Lightfoot, Deputy Mayor Samir Mayakar, Senator Adrian Johnson, Representative Bobby Rush, Alderman Sawyer, Alderwoman Michelle Harris, Alderman David Moore, Alderman Howard Brookins, Illinois Senator Jacqueline Collins, Illinois Senator Adrian Johnson, Illinois State Representative Nick Smith, Cook County Commissioner Stanley Moore, and representatives from the Office of LG Sims, Commissioner Maurice Cox, I saw you, there you are, World Business Chicago CEO Michael Fosnot, and Jonathan Jackson, Democratic nominee of U.S. House 1st District. Have I missed any elected officials that may have joined us? Awesome. So each of our elected officials, please stand for a second, if you guys don't mind.
I don't mind watching.
On behalf of Discover, we want to thank you so much for your service and support and all the hard work you do every single day to support the residents of the state of Illinois. Thank you so much. I also want to acknowledge some of our colleagues from Discover, particularly our executive team members that are here. Some of them are here for the very first time, which we're very excited about. I'll share their names. Diane Offering, standing in the back of the room. Wanji Walcott. Dan Capozzi. Andy Eichfield. Keith Toney. And our CEO, Roger Hochschild, who you guys will have the opportunity to hear from in a few minutes. Also in the room of our Chief Diversity Officer, Jonita Wilson. My boss and Senior Vice President of Card Operations, Dennis Michelle. Someone who you all know, Matt Johansson, our Chief ESG Officer. And Camille DeChico, our Director of Social Impact. Last but certainly not least, we have special guests in the room. If you're a member of our local Chatham team, please stand for a second. I'd like to personally acknowledge Soroyan Hill and her entire leadership team. Thank you guys so much for all you do. I wake up every morning with a smile because I really do have the best team at Discover and we serve the best community. So thank you guys all for your commitment to our employees, our community, as well as our Discover customers. Thank you. So as we kick off this afternoon, I really want to make sure, and we start our collective vision, I'd like to welcome Reverend Dr. William Crowder of Park Manor Church to lead our invocation before we begin. Reverend Crowder.
give God praise for Watis. Friends, bow your heads with me in prayer. Lord, we remember the story that is told of the two shoe company executives dispatched to a poor village. One executive, when he got to the village, called back to headquarters and told the warehouse manager, "No one here wears shoes. I'll be back home tomorrow." The other executive, when he called headquarters, he told the manager, "Quick, send me all the shoes we got in the warehouse, because everyone here needs shoes." Lord, it really depends on how you see it. Thank you that Discover sees it. They're like the other executive. They saw something that the company that used to be here couldn't see. We need shoes. We need shoes on the south side of Chicago. We need shoes all over Chicago. We need shoes all over this country. And we are here to thank God for shoes. Lord, we know by our very presence in this space today that you have taught us a very valuable lesson. You took grief and exchanged it for grace. Lord, you took the grief from what was and you helped us to discover what is your grace. Thank you. Thank you for the vision that did not perish. Thank you for the collaboration that did not collapse. Thank you for the partnerships that did not fold. Thank you for the hope that did not die. Thank you for this rose that is growing out of concrete. Thank you for the leadership of Discover. Thank you for the leadership of our elected officials. Thank you for a way out of no way. Thank you that something good came out of something that was bad. Thank you for shoes, oh God. Now bless every employee. Bless every nook and cranny of this space. Bless this campus. And we'll be so careful to give your name all the credit, the glory, and the honor, and the praise. We pray in the name of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. Amen. Amen. And Ashe.
Thank you so much, Dr. Crowley. I feel I can go on for the rest of the day after that. For a long time, companies have had very biased approaches as to how they've selected locations for their businesses. I'll give you guys a quote from the famous Chans from our community here in Chatham. But Chance the Rapper said, "We only know what we know until someone knows better." And our CEO, Roger Hochschild, is a great visionary leader with grit who we believe knew better. We are here today because of the breakthrough vision of Roger and for him being a deliberate advocate for change for residents on the South Side. I'd love to invite Roger to the podium to share with you a little bit about our journey over the last year and to give his perspective about what the future looks like for Discover.
Hello, everyone. It is great to be here with you guys this afternoon. A little over a year ago, the mayor and I stood in what was an abandoned retail store and announced that Discover would be joining the Chatham community and would open a world-class call center here on the South Side. Today, I am pleased to welcome you to the grand opening of Discover's Chatham Customer Care Center and ShineBright Community Center. As Wati said, this center started in 2019 with the idea that large companies need to challenge traditional ways of doing business in order to be part of overcoming centuries of bias, and with the belief that all of Chicago's residents deserve the opportunity to work in good jobs with good benefits in their community, because working closer to home means they can spend more time with their families, be more active in their community, and support local restaurants and businesses. We knew that we couldn't do it alone, so we partnered with organizations across Chatham and the South Side, We engaged with residents and community leaders. And more than anything, we listened and learned. We were helped by so many external partners, and we are grateful. And as you look around this great facility, keep in mind that more than 25% of our construction spend went to local, Black-owned contractors. So you are seeing their work. Last year, we opened a temporary space in this building and hired our first 20 Chatham employees. That number has grown to 300 and will reach 1,000 by 2024, with almost 90% of employees living within a 5-mile radius of the center. We wouldn't be here without the hard work and dedication of so many of my Discover colleagues here in the room, especially my good friend Watis. Yes. And I am in awe. Yes. I am truly amazed at what you have accomplished in so little time. The result is this beautiful facility you see here today. And our Chatham Center isn't just an office. We included a 13,000 square foot community center where organizations and residents can come together with a technology hub and a gallery that will showcase art from local artists. I've been lucky enough to spend time with a few of the new hire classes as they come through here. And during Q&A, someone invariably asks, how do I grow in my career at Discover so I can be CEO? And I think that's a real testament to the drive and the ambition of the people we are hiring. And I tell them that it's my hope that a future CEO of Discover has already joined us here in the Chatham location. And I am certain that many of Discover's future leaders will come from the South Side of Chicago. A key lesson, one that I look forward to working with the mayor and her team to share with other Chicago area CEOs, is that investing in the South Side of Chicago is not just the right thing to do, it's good business. And this call center is already performing at an industry-leading level, showing that when you bring opportunity to the talented residents of the South Side of Chicago, they shine. Thank you.
Thank you, boss. Awesome. And now I have the pleasure to introduce to you guys, very similarly, our mayor of this great city, Mayor Lightfoot.
Well, Roger, that was a mic drop moment. I remember so clearly being here a year ago. And I remember that day because it was so emotional. It felt so joyous to be in the room. The opportunity that you were bringing to this community, I've talked about it at length, and Roger's going to start charging me a user fee because I talk about him, I talk about this moment, and I talk about this opportunity all the time. And I accept and hope you will take that challenge to the rest of the business community. Investing in neighborhoods on the south and the west side that have historically been disinvested in, it's not charity, it's good business. We can make the business case over and over again. And Pastor, now it's always a little bit dangerous when you challenge a little bit something that a man of the cloth has said, but I hope you take a friendly amendment. This isn't a rose growing out of concrete. I would say that this was fertile ground all along, and that what Discover has done in partnership with the community is planted the seeds, tilled the soil, make sure that it is properly watered, and that what you see blooming is the fruit of a beautiful South Side neighborhood when people are given the opportunity. You know, we had the chance to walk through the facility before this press conference. And you know, you've been through businesses before where you know whether the workforce is happy or not. You can see it in the eyes of the workers, particularly, will they make eye contact with you or will they not? Do they look like they're working in a collegial place or not? And you feel that energy radiating throughout this building, and that's a testament, I think, to what Tees has done. I think it's a testament to the vision, but also the execution and the commitment of Discover. So I'm just incredibly proud to be here. So thank you. Today is a great day for the entire Chatham community and our city as a whole. I'm excited to be here with all of you. And what we're doing today is proving that investing in our neighborhoods strengthens our entire city, without a doubt. This is a full circle moment for many of us. In March of 2021, I had the pleasure of helping to announce the plans for this incredible investment. One of the most memorable moments, as I've said, for me as a mayor. I still feel emotional just recalling, I think, what we are all feeling in that moment. And what I said then remains true. This customer care center will undoubtedly serve as a socioeconomic catalyst for the entire Chatham community and the surrounding area. In fact, within 3 months of announcing plans for this center, Discover employed more than 300 people over the course of the last year, working in a temporary space until construction is finished. And we heard not only some of those first set of employees, they came, they worked, they got promoted and promoted again, and are looking to lead in powerful ways within this company, none of which would have been possible but for that investment. This is completely consistent with the vision of Invest Southwest, our signature economic development plan. You build it and they will come. You build not only the physical structures, but you create the opportunities for people to be able to shine, for people to live a fulfilled life with good paying jobs. It makes all the difference in the world. And yes, I talk about Roger and the team all the time because he has led by example, and that example has led to others who have jumped in. We're at $1.4 billion and counting in Invest Southwest, and we'll be at $2 billion of investments by the end of this year. And let me talk for a moment about the quality of the jobs that are here. These are good paying jobs, complete with a benefits package that includes the exact same package that Roger and his executive team enjoy. This includes eligibility for 20 days minimum paid time off, career development resources, and an opportunity, which you'll hear about in a moment in particular, to receive a free college education upon the first day of employment. Folks, very few companies offer those kinds of benefits to their employees, and I'm glad to hear that people are taking full advantage of the opportunities that are presented. I'm also excited to share that earlier this year, Discover expanded this full paid education benefit to the city of Chicago through a partnership with Chicago State, and you'll hear more about that. So I don't want to steal all the thunder, but it's exciting stuff here. And beyond employment opportunities, this new center, as you heard from Roger, now has a fully open, available, free, let me emphasize that, free community space for electeds, for faith community, for folks that just want to be able to have a clean, safe space with all the technology to come together and be with their neighbors. That is great progress. And as Roger said, this space will feature rotating art from local South Side artists, further expanding Discover's impact. From start to finish, this new customer service center has brought so many equitable socioeconomic opportunities to our city already. And I'd be remiss if I didn't mention that to build and maintain this site, Discover awarded 47% of its business to minority-owned suppliers, 28% to women suppliers, which far exceeds the city's requirements. And on top of this, nearly $4 million, or a quarter of Discover's construction spend, as Roger said, went to Black-owned contractors, further demonstrating Discover's commitment to being a good neighbor in Chatham and to the rest of our city. Once again, I've got to give a huge shout out to Roger, and feel free to charge me because I'm going to keep telling this story over and over again because it bears repeating. You chose to make this place, this center, you could have done it anywhere in the world, but you chose Chicago, and you chose the South Side, and you chose a meaningful place that had been, frankly, a source of pain for this community when the further occupant, I'm not supposed to say their name anymore, when the further occupant pulled out. But now you've replaced that pain with real joy, with real economic opportunity, and I think the sky's the limit on what this center can be for a hub of intergenerational activity for residents in the surrounding area. This Chatham Center now exceeds all of its sister centers in employment retention rates, I'm also happy to report. And in the coming days and weeks, as this building fills up with more employees, I'm excited to see what other milestones can accomplish. Let me also just say to the employees, live your best life, folks. This is a tremendous opportunity. This has opened up corridors of opportunities for you to be able to take advantage of to help support yourself, help support your family, to be a beacon and a model for your children, but for your entire community. We are all incredibly proud of who you are. Now, I got to say one last thing. The skeptics were sure that our focus on neighborhoods would fail, that we would neglect the downtown as a consequence, which we would take our eye off the ball somehow. Now, I'm happy to stand here and tell you the skeptics are wrong on both fronts. In 3.5 years through a pandemic, working directly in partnership with local business and civic leaders, we have infused billions of dollars into historically underinvested and served neighborhoods throughout the South and the West Sides in particular. And at the same time, we continue to build on our strength in the downtown with more corporate relocations, more jobs at any time than in recent memory. Just in the last few weeks alone, what have we heard? Notable names: Abbott, Kellogg, Google, and I'll add Lollapalooza. Yeah, when you talk about 10 years and the potential for $4 billion in economic impact, oh yeah, we've got to add Lollapalooza to the list. And why are these corporate giants making these economically impactful bets on Chicago? Because they know we will be their partner in making their businesses successful, and every day the proof points stack up. So as I said, we must do both and we have demonstrated that we can do both and. I can't account for what happened in the past, but I know what's happening now, and we are building strength in our economy, in our neighborhoods, in our people, all over the city, not just in the downtown. And all of us should be proud of what we have accomplished together. It takes partnership, it takes intentionality, but it takes a belief that our city deserves no less. And that's what we are delivering for the residents of Chicago, and every day we demonstrate, folks, there's no place better than Chicago. Thank you. And it brings me great pleasure to introduce and invite to the podium someone who's been a fierce warrior in this work on the South Side, and that is our great Congressman, Bobby Rush. Congressman.
I certainly want to thank you, Mayor Lightfoot, for your extraordinary leadership, for caring about every nook and cranny of this city, including the South and the West Side of this city. Roger, I want to thank you so much for having the capacity in your heart, for having the brilliance in your mental outlook to look beyond an empty building and look beyond a neighborhood in need and to see the hearts and the minds and the spirit of people who live in this community and in communities that are similar. And I just can't stop but saying to you and to everybody here, South Side strong. South Side strong. I recall those cold days when the former occupant of this esteemed site decided that they would leave our community and that they would turn their backs on the people who had invested so much time and goodwill and well-meaning in that corporation, and they decided to overnight pick up and leave. And some of us wanted to fight that corporate decision, and we marched and we demonstrated, both here and in other places, locations, begging them and pleading with them to change their mind, to keep this site open so that it would be of use for the community. But I stand here now and I'm gonna call them out. Target, good riddance. See ya and don't wanna be ya. Bye-bye, so long, adios. Because we don't want you with a knee. Your aim, your target was too low for our community. We want a place where we not only spend money, but we want a place that we earn money. And so we got now a place here where we can earn money, build our lives, build our families, build our communities, build everything that this nation has promised us, you and I. So I'm just so happy to be here. Delighted, I'm excited. I have been wanting a call center in my district for at least 10 or 15 years now. I remember my friend from North Carolina, G.K. Butterfield, coming up and proudly beating on his chest that he had a call center down in Durham, North Carolina. And I got on the phone and I was wondering why we couldn't get one on the south side of Chicago. Roger, thank you so very, very much for believing in us, for bringing your resources, and let your decision, let this be a model for other corporations around the city and around the nation. Come to the South Side, because the South Side and its people are South Side strong. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Congressman Rush. Congratulations on such a life served with service and legacy. We appreciate all you've done for our community. But before we move on, I do want to acknowledge the mayor one more time. Thank you so much to you and your administration for all the support you've provided Discover as we've embarked on this journey over the last few years. We couldn't have done this without you and your team. Deputy Mayor Samir, Commissioner Cox, Michael, we appreciate all you've done to support us along the journey, so thank you again. Another supportive person is our Alderman, Rob Sawyer. He's been in the trenches with us every step of the way, helping us address any challenge that we've had along this journey. From community events to creating safety for our folks, and also helping us recruit minority-owned businesses to be involved in this project. Through it all, Alderman Sawyer has been here for Discover. I'd like to invite him to the stage to share a few words with the team as well.
Thank you very much, Watis. You've been doing a phenomenal job here. Yeoman's job, please. I want to take you back for a few years, and Congressman Rush really mentioned it on two fronts. About 10 years ago, we were making an attempt to put a call center on the South Side. Was not successful. We tried very, very hard, and we were close, but we could not make it happen. Fast forward to a few years ago when that other company left this site, we were devastated. It was a really bad time in the greater Chatham area. We talked about it and we had our hands up. Who was going to take over a 125,000 square foot space overnight? And I must say that my partners here in Chatham, Michelle, David, we started reaching out. And we reached out to one individual, Leon Walker. Leon Walker, we were like, Leon, buy this place. Get this place and we'll figure it out later. Trust us, we didn't have a plan. But Leon, get this place and we'll figure it out. And I want to thank Leon for that, because fast forward now to Discover, who's been doing a superb job. I think you have set the mark. You've made the mark and you've set it for other companies all over the world that can do things that you've done. We have other properties all over the South and West Side that could benefit from large companies bringing their resources here to the community, and I really thank you. You're forever in my debt. But what a lot of people don't know is that when Discover pays their rent every month, they pay it to a black man. They pay it to a black man. So, and it's interesting when I talk to neighbors, and I had a neighbor a few months ago talking about, what does Discover do for us? How does that benefit black people? And I told him, I said, well, Discover pays rent every month, and their rent is to a black guy. You know, did you know that? The black man owns this parcel? They're like, no, we thought it was part of the mall. They said, no, this is different. So I really thank you for all you've done, for all the employees here. I've talked to employees who have had numerous promotions already being here. That is a big thing. And they live 5-10 minutes away. So like you stated earlier, Roger, they're able to have a family life, they're able to go to school, they're able to do the things that are necessary for to be a complete individual. And of course, with the tuition support that you provide, these are things that are great and they cannot be duplicated. Well, actually, they will be duplicated because we're going to have others who go out and do these same things. But I would just say this, and thanking you just over and over again. You've set out bold ambition here. You've exceeded your target, small t. You've exceeded your target, and we're very, very proud of you and your team, of everybody that's coming forward. You continue to do great work. You're bringing in great people, and the greatness of it is that there's people that are in this neighborhood, in all of our neighborhoods. Again, I cannot say it again. Thank you. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you so much, Alderman. Central to our work here in Chatham is partnerships. We've been able to partner with dozens of organizations very closely, but we're extremely proud to be forging a close relationship and strategic partnership with Chicago State University. This spring, we announced that Discover employees who start at Discover on day one of employment can drive a short mile up King Drive or Cottage Grove and receive free college tuition at Chicago State University. The even better news is we have so much more in store for our partnership at Chicago State University, thanks to the leadership of President Scott and her entire team. President Scott isn't able to be here with us today, but we do have Dr. Leslie Roundtree here. She's the interim provost and senior vice president of academic affairs at Chicago State University, and she's going to tell you a little bit more about the work that Discover has going with Chicago State University together.
Good afternoon. Good afternoon. It's an honor to be here today at Discover's Chatham Customer Care opening ceremonies. I'd like to thank Roger for his support of Chicago State University, Matt Johansson, and Watisse, and your team for all the support that you've given to help this established community. But Discover took this initiative to bring this customer care service center here and 1,000 jobs to the Chicago South Side, which is helping to grow this established community. But you didn't stop there. They looked for a partner to help their employees to grow and to reach their goals by earning a college degree. And from their search came the partnership with Chicago State University. Now Discover employees can access the earning potential through the company's generous employee benefit package, which many companies have given up, that will fully cover tuition, fees, books, so that a person can earn their degree. Employees can choose between more than 15 popular bachelor degrees in the social sciences, business, and in STEM. In addition to enrolling employees with their benefits, we hope to launch a cohort in fall of '22 of about 30 Discover employees to take their coursework here on site at this center. The classes will be designed to meet the general education and begin that journey to success. At Chicago State, we serve every type of student and understand that employees coming to school will be juggling work, family, and school. That's why we offer flexible class schedules on campus, which is only about 10 minutes away, and also online and hybrid. We also have a beautiful new child development center offering full-day Head Start and after-school programs for children of students and members of the community. So our child care center will ensure that if students take classes at Chicago State, they'll have an opportunity to have their children well cared for and receive educational benefits. Chicago State brings a full college experience to our students with more than 80 student organizations, all Divine 9 fraternities and sororities, and 15 Division I NCAA sports. So together, Discover and Chicago State have tapped into the immense talent that is right here on the Chicago South Side and have created a partnership in which everyone can continue to grow. Thank you once again, and we look forward to seeing many of you on our campus at Chicago State University. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Dr. Roundtree. Before we close out, there's two more people I want to acknowledge. The first is Leon Walker. He's not able to be here today, but Ryan from his team is here. We appreciate your partnership with DL3 Realty and all you guys have done to really help us not only have this facility, but take care of it with excellence, so thank you. Second, when you guys walked into our facility, you may have noticed the beautiful mural on the wall with local Chatham faces that are historic in the community. I hope you can give me an opportunity. If David's in the room, I see you somewhere. David, our artist, put that together. He's here with us. So David, thank you so much for your amazing work. Before you all leave this room to celebrate and network, I'd like to welcome back the mayor to the stage to take some questions from the media about today's event. Once Q&A is wrapped up, we'd welcome journalists who want to capture footage of our new space to meet us right outside the hallway, and someone will walk you through the facility. Also, if you are an elected official or a visitor or guest of ours today and you would like a tour, we'll be able to accommodate that as well. Just meet us in the hallway. And thank you so much to all of our speakers, all of our leaders, our Discover team. We really appreciate the support you provided us over the last year, and we look forward to how much more we'll do to continue to shine bright together. With that being said, Mayor, please close us out.
My favorite part of every feel-good event. There you go.
Over here,
Okay.
Mayor. Thanks a lot. We're going to kick it off with On Topic first. 2 questions per reporters. Asha and I will bring down the mics to you. So Will Jones from ABC, kick it off. Okay. Go ahead, WGN, Taman.
Well, I'm not on topic. Nice event. Sorry to change the mood. The Republican candidate for governor, Darren Bailey, he penned an op-ed in the Chicago Tribune blasting Chicago, talked about education, violence, businesses leaving the city. His solutions, Mayor, school choice, support for police, enforcement of existing laws, zero-based budgeting, reducing the size of city government. Just your reaction to the things that he said about the city of Chicago. Here is the Republican candidate running for governor.
I actually read it, and I was surprised how completely uninformed he is about our city. The fact that he doesn't know that our city has the strongest economy in the country, not just in the state. The fact that he doesn't know that we've had so many major businesses relocate to Chicago over the last 2 years. The fact that he doesn't know that our homicides are down almost 16%, our shootings are down 20%. What that op-ed showed is a lot of Republican talking points, but staggering amount of ignorance about the reality of our city. And I would think that somebody who aspires to be the governor of a city that is 80% of the economy of the state would spend a little more time educating himself about the city of Chicago. And frankly, the fact that he didn't really is an insult to the residents of this great city and speaks volumes about who he is.
Just one more thing. The day after he won the primary, he told me he would be reaching out to you for a meeting to talk about the city. Have you heard from him?
Call me, none, not once. I'm sitting here, I'm waiting. I'd be happy to sit down and talk with him, but it seems like what I need to do is a kind of 101 education course for him on the city of Chicago, which I'd be happy to give him.
All right, Craig Wall, ABC.
Hi, Mayor. I want to follow up with Lollapalooza and on top of that, NASCAR. We're hearing some concerns how long Grant Park is going to be shut down because of the 2 events over next summer, in particular with Grant Park and Lakeshore Drive being shut down for the NASCAR event. Is all this inconvenience to Chicagoans worth what's coming in for those days?
Well, let me challenge your premise a little bit about inconvenience. So, for example, we had, I think, a phenomenally successful Taste of Chicago that shut down a part of the footprint, but left the vast majority of Grant Park open. Obviously, there's a build-up and a takedown period for things like Lolla, for things like what will happen with NASCAR. But during those times, the footprint is open to visitors and people that want to enjoy the lakefront and Grant Park. So we'll manage, obviously, through that. But I do challenge the premise that essentially, and I've seen some of the things in the news, that for a month or longer, Grant Park will be completely shut down. I don't think that's accurate based upon the planning I've seen. Yeah, certainly in the days leading up to and the days immediately after, there's a period of time where the construction's happening and then the deconstruction happens. But we'll work with, as we have for almost 20 years with Lolla, and then we'll work with, obviously, NASCAR to make sure that we minimize the inconvenience to any resident and maximize the opportunity for them to continue to enjoy Grant Park.
What about Lakeshore Drive being shut down? I mean, for Lolla and everything, Lakeshore Drive remains open, but for NASCAR, it's going to have to be
Yeah,
shut
they'll-
down because that's
they'll-
part of the track.
It'll be shut down, obviously, for a certain period of time. But look, let's just take a step back for a second. Lala, last year, economic impact by an independent study was $300 million to the city of Chicago. I heard from restaurateurs and hotel operators over the course of this weekend. They were seeing better numbers come in this Lala weekend than pre-pandemic. So you always got to play chess, not checkers. You got to look at the bigger picture. And yes, there is inconvenience, but on all of these programs, we got to think about what are the investments that we're making, what is the return on the investment to the local economy and our residents. And I think showcasing Chicago on a global stage, as both of these events do, and really showing our city in its possible best light. I can't tell you the number of total strangers that came up to me over the course of this weekend and the days since that said, my goodness, your city is phenomenal. I said, thank you, I agree, and then spend lots of money.
Thanks, Greg. Mary Ann Ahern, NBC.
On that same note of
Yeah.
Lala, you are comfortable with 10 years? What is better about this deal than the former deal?
I think a couple of things. Obviously, we know a lot more about the economics and, frankly, what logistics are involved. So we use that learning and put that into this contract. I think there's a period. The contract is structured for us to share in the wealth. So in other words, we've got a base, but as things get better, and hopefully they will, meaning as the revenues improve year over year, we get to share in that with Lala. So we're really partners in this together. And I think having that stability, so frankly, they can book their artists years in advance, really is, I think, to benefit not only to them, but also a benefit to us. It's a benefit to hotels and restaurants. The other thing that doesn't get the kind of coverage that I think it really should is the C3 partners have been phenomenal partners to our young people. They've stood up an arts fund managed through CPS. They've done amazing work with After School Matters and giving a number of those After School Matters students kind of a behind the scenes experience so that they're, obviously a lot of our kids grow up and think they're going to be the person on the stage with the mic, but there's a lot of work that's available and good paying jobs in the behind the stage work where our kids are now getting exposed to that. And that's because of C3's, I think, tremendous partnership. And we will continue to build upon that. So there's a lot of different pieces that I think inure to the benefit of the city of Chicago, certainly the economic impact for our hotels, our restaurants, our bars, and the Chicago artists that get featured and have exposure to a global audience that are the festival goers, and then our young people also benefit. To me, is a total home run.
Going back to NASCAR, there are 3 aldermen, King, Dell, and Riley, who want more input because of NASCAR. They claim that they're going to ask instead that City Council needs to give approval before a contract like that is made. Are the details that have been so far leaked out, but have been very, very difficult to get from your office, are they accurate that NASCAR is giving just $500,000 for a permit? And why is that a good deal when Lala is paying so much more?
Well, first of all, Lala is a phenomenon into itself, so I think trying to compare Lala and NASCAR doesn't make sense. This is the first venture that NASCAR has done in an urban environment, so the scale is obviously going to be more modest than what Lala is 20 years on. But yeah, I think there's a base, right, that NASCAR is going to be giving us, and similarly with Lala, as the ticket sales improve and meet certain thresholds, then we benefit more. And I say we, it's really the Park District benefits more. And through those 3 aldermen, I'll just say again, all of them were briefed ahead of time, happy to sit down with them at any point. And I've made that offer. I'm waiting for them to take me up on it.
Thanks, Mayor. Thanks, everyone. Have a great day.
Thank you all.